And let's begin with India news, where the biggest news is still coming from Infosys days after board of Infosys blame Anna Narayan Murthy for Vishal Sikka's decision to step down as CEO. The founder and former CEO of Infosys, Narayan Murthy, is set to address investors today and assuage their concerns. Now, amid a broader tussle between the board and the founders that has severely dented investor confidence in the company and wiped out thousands of crores of rupees in market value. Narayan Murthy is expected to answer questions and address concerns over the events of the past few days, which have spooked investors, especially after Infosys board released a scathing 6-page letter on Friday, blaming Murthy for Sikka's decision to step down over the past 3 days. Infosys has lost nearly thousands of crores of rupees in market value. Narayan Murthy had responded to statement from Infosys saying he was extremely anguished by the allegations, tone and tenor of statements made by board, and that it was below his dignity to respond to baseless insinuations. And we are joined by my colleague Nishita Virendra from Bangalore for more on this. Nishita, so finally Narayan Murthy will open his heart, what he has in his mind and heart. So what is expected out of this address, which is going to start around an hour from now?
Well, we can assume safely, Sumit, that it was a very conscious decision to push Narayan Murthy's call with the investors from the 23rd of August to the 29th. We know the kind of developments that have taken place in this 1 week. On the 23rd, when Narayan Murthy was expected to address the investors, there was a lot of uncertainty in the air. Several investors had come forward with pleas to bring back Nandan Nilekani even to the position of CEO of the company to retain the stability of Infosys. As you rightly mentioned, nearly 34,000 crore rupees had been wiped out of the market thanks to Infosys stocks sinking following Vishal Sikka's resignation. They have marginally stabilized and recovered now as well. But Narayan Murthy, we can also assume that will be very cautious in what he says. Or investors are particularly concerned about the stability factor of the company, who the next CEO will be, what are the factors that will be taken into consideration before the next CEO is appointed, whether he or she will be from within the company or outside. These are the questions that will be raised. And also, of course, the issue of corporate governance, a question that repeatedly dodged Nandan Nilekani when he addressed it, when he had a con call right after taking over as the non-executive chairman of Infosys. So these questions will be thrown at Narayan Murthy as well, we can safely assume. But Narayan Murthy on his part is in a lot more commanding position now than what he was about a week ago. The speculations about Narayan Murthy was at the receiving end of the board of directors of the company of Infosys, many of them who have stepped down already with Nandan Nilekani's return to the company. So now Narayan Murthy seems to be in a lot more comfortable position to address the investor concerns. As you have Nandan Nilekani in the helm of affairs, there's no doubt. So he will be the one who will be heading the ship at least for a while. And as Nilekani said, in October, there will be more clarity on the strategy. And if there's any visible changes that we will see in the company, those can be expected only in October. So today's call is almost something that Narayan Murthy's formality to interact with investors, as the larger doubts have already been cleared by Nilekani in the last week.
But Nishita, isn't the fight far from over? Because last week we heard Nandan Nilekani trying to assuage the concerns of investors and employees. Narayan Sikka also didn't say much. So isn't the fight far from over as far as Infosys is concerned?
Well, as far as the fight goes, it seems at the moment that the fire has been quelled to a great extent. With Nandan Nilekani taking over, he is looked at as someone who has been a mediator of sorts between the former board as well as the founders. And he is someone who has been accepted by the board, the founders, as well as the investors and the customers and the employees as well. So Nandan Nilekani has already come in, and unconfirmed reports from sources tell us Nandan Nilekani has also instructed some of the main persons from Infosys as well as the founders group to not interact with the media and make individual statements. So there is an obvious attempt to bring back the calm after the storm now. So we can safely say that if there is going to be a fight, a war, it will largely be on issues of corporate governance and whether there will be investigations reopened into all the allegations that they were there, or whether the report that Narayana Murthy wanted to go public in the Panama case, whether that will be made public. So these are the issues that might dodge Nilekani for a while. But Narayana Murthy would want to stay away from all these issues, at least as of now, because we have seen the kind of impact that it has had on stocks. The investors were very critical of the board members for the 6-page letter that blamed Narayana Murthy for Vishal Sikka's exit. And that is something that could be an issue as well that Nilekani will have to deal with, whether all those board members who were involved in the 6-page letter, whether they will also face the act. But Narayana Murthy, on his part, since we can say that things are going largely his way now, would want to stay on the safe side now. So he will be just addressing investor concerns, and we can expect no big bang allegations or announcements in this phone call.
Right, Nishita, thank you for getting us all these details. You were on the top of all these details and the story as it emerged from the day when Sikka resigned to the day when Narayana Murthy will address the investors.